All right, everybody, let's move on. Let's finish up with this season as soon as we possibly can, even though somehow we've won 30 games. The Rick Nash effect. What can I say? He is single-handedly going to cost us a first-round pick. And I hate it. I hate it. But, man, we beat San Jose. If this team tries to make the playoffs again, we almost made it last year. We finished as the first team on the outs, and I had to try to tank the lineup a bit. We get David Jones for the first time this season. But, oh, goodness. Switch goalies? Absolutely not. At least not this early. Otherwise, I'm going to keep running Steve Mason into the ground to get his overall up there and hopefully up that trade value, too. So many injuries this year. Actually, I should check right now because the season doesn't go as far into April. We are currently 5 points out of the playoffs with about, I don't want to math right now, but about 70 bajillion games left by my calculations. So we should be safe. Shout out to Jeff Carter on Calgary there, leading the Flames in goals, by the way, with Jerome McGinley leading their team in assists. So that's fun. You're welcome, Calgary. You're welcome. We have fun. Please lose to Nashville. Thank you. Please lose to New Jersey. Thank you. We have 1 goal scored this week so far. And we beat the Islanders. Of course we did. God damn it. God damn it. Half the fun of this, though, is seeing who's leading the other team in scoring. I love that little feature. Wish it would come back. 38 wins. Okay, we should be on the outs. Whatever. If we beat Nashville, we might make the playoffs. If we beat Nashville, it could even be an overtime win or an overtime loss, and we might have the tiebreaker on Dallas. Last year, it was worth tanking. This year, it isn't because we can't drop. Last year, around this time, we could drop. This year, we can't. It is game number 82. Are the Blue Jackets postseason bound? That is the question. First period, 1-0 Blue Jackets, Sean Couturier. Second period, 1-1, Mike Fisher. As we get things going, they are destroying us in terms of shots. Power play for the Blue Jackets. Killed off. Oh my God, it is going to go down to the wire. 2 minutes to go. It's still 1-1. Look at the ratings for these two teams, by the way. Outrageous. Okay. All right. Hello, random. I don't even know what the hell you are. Hopefully not a mosquito. I don't think it is. It might be. That's looking kind of mosquito-ish. How are you not dead? It's October. I can let it go for now. We will actually wear the home jerseys because the colors will be different enough. All right. Well, this is our first look at NHL 12 gameplay. We have yet to jump in. We didn't make the playoffs early on like we did in Edmonton on NHL 11. So this will be our first look at NHL 12 gameplay, and it could be this team breaking my heart and making the playoffs as opposed to the alternative. But hey, here we are. I gotta mess with an audio setting really quickly. Everything should be fine for you guys. Let me know. I lost power earlier and my PC shut off and it screwed up a bunch of settings. Glove save there by Mason. Goodness. Not paying attention. Not paying attention, yeah. Oh, come on. I don't think it work. It is basically the same as left. Not wrong. There was board plays They changed the hitting. I mean, there were some changes. Some changes. Can I please have my game audio?
2 minutes remaining.
No, you want to.
Our score tied at 1-1.
Is
This one yet to be decided.
I just destroyed my eardrums. Holy shit. Woo! All right. Not hitting that setting again. I might be deaf now.
Suter. To Weber.
I don't know what it is. I can't get the freaking audio to go through. I hate it here. I hate it here. Anyway, it's looking like overtime might be on the horizon. Could be. Derek Brassard. What the hell just happened to that guy? One-timer Couturier. Good save. Couturier again. What the hell just happened? Rick Nash. Saved by Rene. God, our top line's cooking. Our top line's cooking. It's not looking good. Good save. It's offside anyway. Continuing. And fix my audio. Gotta fix my audio. Gotta fix this fucking audio. Son of a bitch!
That's not bad, but it's not great either.
I hate being distracted when I'm supposed to be paying attention. I'm so sorry, but hey, these good things might happen.
To Bergfors. 2-on-2 the other way. He's got that puck at the point.
Hey, I got it to work. We love it here. I can hear now. Let me hear the dulcet tones of Gary Thorne. Daniel, what do you think happened? Please don't let Zach Stortini score. Thank you. Actually, never mind. Let Zach Stortini score. Nick Leddy. Over to Jeff Schultz. Big Jeffrey. Ryan O'Reilly gets held up. 15 seconds. If we get to overtime, that might be enough to make the playoffs if we have the tiebreaker with Dallas.
Intercepted, ending the
Vaughton in the interception. We're going to overtime. So as it stands, because we don't know the result with Dallas, we are tied with the Stars on 89 points. But whether or not that's enough to have the tiebreaker on them, I do not know. Shout out to Briggsy. What's going on? Here we go. Here we go. CBJ. 1-4 in overtime this season. I don't think NHL 24 shows that. I might be wrong, but Leddy digs it out of the corner. Nicholas Leddy for Rick Nash. Rick Nash saved by Rene. It's a pretty deceptive backhand by Nash. I don't want to jinx it, but so far we haven't seen the AI do the typical just deke into the middle. So that's fun. Aren't all the top picks like a B- anyway? Yeah, but that means they're good. We're also 4-6 in a shootout this year. Jesus. We love overtime. Schultz. Can't get the pass to Leddy. Love your State of NHL 24 video. When we talked about it on the podcast, I knew I'm like, yeah, I just got to put this out there on the main channel. Ryan Suter. Hornqvist dumping it in. Nick Leddy. To the round, Schultz is there. Finds Sean Couturier, the deadline pickup. Rene has trouble, but covers. Was a bit scary there. I don't know if I'm still actively rooting for us to lose or not. I won't be too upset if we make the playoffs, in all honesty. You never know. We could just go on a run. Nash, another quick shot. Rene, I thought Suter was going to own goal that. Rick Nash is shooting the puck a ton. David Savard, the pickoff. Should I do a fantasy draft? Of course I would. I don't know if I will, but I could. I do like seeing the old rosters as they were. Martin Erat. Saved by Mason.
Nobody's got control of it.
Steedson held up. Rick Nash is still out there. Jesus, this man's a tank.
Able to hold that in at the blue line.
Ah, Rick. Getting on the ice looks better than the NBC era games too.
Under 3 minutes left
You know,
to go.
Martin Erad, I'm getting nightmares already. Mills, what's going on, man? How are you? You'll be happy to know Nashville won a Stanley Cup in the first season on this that we simmed, so, you know. At least once the Forsberg trade happens, it'll be for Stanley Cup champion Martin Erad. Eric Brassard getting double teamed. He has nowhere to go. Again, game 82. Making it to overtime might have sent us to the playoffs to begin with. A win could easily confirm us in that 8th seed. I'm actively. Oh, goodness. Well, Mills, you know, the good news is it all worked out for the Caps, right? It did. They ended up winning. They're not going to do that again anytime soon, judging by their home opener. But, you know.
Center ice to Mayorov.
Maxim Mayorov. Oh, Nicoletti! Dude, Rene is standing on his head. Nick Berg fours. Saved by Mason. Always fun to show. Oh, were you there? Oh, okay. I misread it. I was going to say, the first time I read that, I'm like, oh, were you there? And then I read the energy and fight, and I'm like, well, you still could have been there. I'm sure fights in the stands would have been more entertaining than the team on the ice. So, you know. 1 minute to go. Are we going to a shootout? Big sauce for Rick Nash. Oh, the cut. Where's Nash going to go with it? Good patience. Dumps it in. Couturier scores! Has Sean Couturier sent us to the playoffs? A Bedard-esque wraparound. Sean Couturier seals the deal. The Blue Jackets win their final game of the season. Or perhaps just the final game of the regular season. There may still be more hockey to come. All comes down exactly to the result of that game in Dallas. Sean Couturier, the hero. And indeed, they took out the 3 stars at this point, huh? Like, it's still physically there, but the presentation appears to be gone. That's disappointing. Again, it was always random things that would be in the game and then out of the game and then back in the game. Doesn't make much sense. Did we make the playoffs? Or did Dallas get the job done and keep us out? I don't want to look at it until we see on the calendar. The Columbus Blue Jackets have made the playoffs. And we will take on the Vancouver Canucks in round number 1. Rick Nash, Steve Mason, and their band of merry men somehow, someway make the playoffs by 1 point over the Stars, even though they won 2 more games than us. 10 overtime losses. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Can we? Yeah, right. We'll see. Yeah, can we get that first ever franchise playoff victory? They didn't do it until they moved to the East. We're still in the West in this reality. Looking at the boys this season, as mentioned, Rick Nash and his band of merry men. Derek Brassard wasn't too bad. O'Reilly ended up with 22 goals, but again, he was a deadline pickup, or a little bit before. Our depth scoring is, it's a little bit questionable. A little bit. Couturier, though, 10 points in 17 games. Not bad. I like the old playoff format. I'm indifferent at this point. I do think the old playoff format was better but it's not this like drastic difference. I do think it is kind of dumb of like, oh, you could get like Leafs Lightning in round 1 like we have now for the past 2 years. But at the same time, man, you're going to have to go through great teams anyway, you know? So whatever. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Shout out to 1 point in 17 games, Jared Tenorti. He played in all 82 games. Stevie Mason with the 919 and 7 shutouts. Again, love the era of no auto rotate.
I'm just trying to.
So we just leave our starter in the full time. Shout out to Woolsey for the follow. Welcome in. How the heck are you? So we'll get a look here at the league stats. Your leading point getter with 123 points and 71 goals, Alexander Ovechkin. 101 points for Crosby. You had Thornton up there, Zach Parise, Nick Backstrom as your top 5 as Ovi absolutely goes off. The next highest player in terms of goals scored, 47 for Sidney Crosby, and then Jeff Carter, who I traded away, has scored 44 in Calgary. You think he's happy? Goodness. Defensively, leading point getter with 55, another guy I traded away this past season, James Wisniewski. He and John Carlson tied with 55 points. You had Dion Phaneuf, Zach Bogosian, and then quite a few guys tied at 50 points. And there's another player that I traded, Chris Russell. Imagine if I didn't decide to rebuild this team. We might actually be half decent. We might. Yeah, every single Ovi goal was a one-timer. In goal, the winningest goaltender, DiPietro and Mason. I mean, it took Mason 82 games to do it. Save percentage king amongst starters, a 924 for Roberto Luongo. Shutout leader with 8, Marc-Andre Fleury and Yaroslav Halak. The Calder race, 41 points for our forward, Andrei Loktionov. You had Patrice Cormier and Jordan Schrader at 30 points each. But we know goalies love to win this particular award. So Jake Markstrom, 21 wins, 59 games played. He is the guy to keep an eye on. It's going to be Markstrom, Loktionov, maybe one of the other two, but it's more likely to be one of the previously mentioned options there. NHL 09 was the one I played the most. I didn't have 10 and 11 as a kid, so I played 09 until I got games starting with 12. 09 is solid. Again, a big part of this is going back. I love going back and playing these older games anyway, and a big part of it is like, okay, how did they age? And not only that, like, how have I aged? How have my tastes changed? My interest in games, so on and so forth. 07 and 08 do not age well. 09 was the first year where they're like, okay, so follow me here. 07, they added the skill stick. 08, they figured out the skill stick. And then 09 was like, okay, we figured out the skill stick. Now we need modes. So 09 was the first year of Eashel. It was the first year of Be a Pro. Rest is history. And then they added an Ultimate Team a year or two later. So, and then the rest is really history after that. Ancient history of fun sports video games. Anyway, now that we're all depressed, let's double check our roster here. Steve Mason up to an 88 overall. He is looking fantastic. 4, 5, 6, 7. We could probably send down Jared Tenorti and run with John Moore. So just in case the AHL team made the playoffs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Could probably send down Reinhart and Johansson as well. Maybe not. Maybe I miscounted. At least Reinhart. So if we look at the team, I want Sean Couturier at center. We have quite a few playmakers on this team, quite a few two-way forwards. Saad, O'Reilly, Jones can have Niederreiter with Brassard and Nash. Mahler's also a two-way forward, so we won't have a perfect balance. Man, we only have one sniper on this team, too. Screw it. Best lines. Trust the coach. we're not going to be able to get great mixes of player types here. We have a lot of OFDs on defense as well, so we'll just deal with it. We'll hope for the best. We are massive underdogs heading into the series anyway. The Canucks won 50 games. This probably isn't going to go too well, but let's take a look at the Vancouver Canucks, led by Mason Raymond and the Sedins. You got Pyatt, Ryan Kessler, and Yannick Hansen, Chris Higgins, Jordan Schrader, Adam Burish, Victor Stahlberg, Max Lapierre, and Enver Leeson. Their defense: Alex Edler, Kevin Bieksa, Keith Ballard, Dan Hamhuis, Keaton Ellerby, and Chris Tanev. The goalies: Roberto Luongo and Michael Neuwirth. Jesus. Well, there's no reprieve there. Even if Luongo can't make it, we're still in a whole lot of trouble. This is going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. Our GM reputation is still in the negatives as well, so that's fun. Yep. This is going to be real bad. Canucks in 3. Game number 1. Our first playoff game since taking over the team. First period, goalless. They outshot us 15-6. Second period, goalless. They're outshooting us 25-14. It's probably not looking too good for us here, is it? Power play. I mean, the fact that we've held on for this long without scoring is oh my God, really? John Moore. And the Blue Jackets take game 1. Outshot 34-22. John Moore is the hero. Steve Mason with a 34 save shutout, and the Blue Jackets win game number 1 in Vancouver. We go to game 2. Obviously, no need for any lineup changes. We'll just see what happens. I don't expect this to go well, but you never know. First period, 1-0 Canucks, Daniel Sedin. There we go. Second period. Ryan Johansson, Brandon Saad, Rick Nash, 3-1 Columbus. We go to the third period. Up by 2. I don't know what to make of this right now. I really don't. I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm trying to be happy. But oh my God. It's 4-1. Make it 4-2. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have a 2-0 series lead, winning both games on the road. What the hell? Outscoring them 5-2 on home ice. We have the lead. The question is it the road team winning trend, or are we actually possibly going to do this? Game number 3. First period is goalless. Shots were close. Second period, 1-1. Power play goals for Kessler and Derek Brassard. It's the third period. It continues to be close. The fact we are keeping this competitive is hilarious. Six minutes to go. We're only going to jump in if it's an elimination game. We're going to overtime. Game number 3. It's a 2-0 lead for the Blue Jackets in the series. If it goes to double overtime, I'll jump in. Oh my God, 6 minutes? Are we really? With 17 seconds left in overtime, Nick Leddy pushes the Canucks to the brink. The Columbus Blue Jackets have a 3-0 lead. Get Tampa'd. Get Tampa'd. Oh my God. And indeed, people notice that Neuwirth is in, not Luongo. I will double check about an injury. No injury. They've just gone with Neuwirth. It is game number 4. We are 1 win away from the second round. First period, 1-0 Jackets, Nino Niederreiter on Luongo. Second period, 2-0 Columbus, Ryan O'Reilly. The Canucks have 1 period left to save their season. The Columbus Blue Jackets are 2 minutes away from pulling off one of the greatest upsets in playoff history, making it into the playoffs on the last day of the season. Here we go.
A big goal coming here in the third period to increase their lead to 2.
Can the Canucks tie it late? Did I jump in with too much time left? It's O'Reilly for Niederreiter. Nino, big save. Luongo denies David Jones. If Jones is a lefty, that's probably a goal. We might need to look into handedness.
Under 2 minutes left to go.
We might need to.
The Blue Jackets lead is at 2-0.
Henrik wins the draw. Edler.
In the neutral zone up against the wall.
Alex Edler dumps it in. When will Luongo head to the bench? Schultz for Leddy. Voids pressure. Couturier tried the huge send. Edler picked it off. Leddy having trouble in the corner. Handles it. 1:10 to go. His pass off the mark. And that goes for icing. We weren't yet in the era of no touch, at least in the video game.
Schultz is among the leaders in the hit department.
You would think that Luongo would head to the bench here. He does not. Face off 1. Hansen can't do anything with it. Kessler held up. Leddy again blows the pass. Luongo now heads to the bench. Brassard picks off the pass. Derek Brassard trying to turn it on and ends the series on the backhand. Derek Brassard.
Well, we always know when you pull your goaltender, yes.
And the Columbus Blue Jackets are heading to the second round. From not making the playoffs to sweeping the number 1 seed Vancouver Canucks.
That one goes into his own net.
I got a feeling he's not going to be buying any lottery tickets today. Well, the goalie knows on this play, some nights getting that much means a save. Not tonight.
The Canucks goal has cut this deficit to 2, but It looks like it will be enough.
Yeah, I'm not the only guy that thought this game was over. Most of the fans have headed to the exits.
Snaps it. Scores! Big goal to answer that last one. The Blue Jackets rush, finds a way to score one from outside the slot area. That's not a high percentage shot.
No, and defensively, I think the guys are saying, hey, don't worry about it.
Luongo, who was heading to the bench right off the draw, but the puck stolen by Rick Nash, and Luongo cannot get back in time. It's now 4-1.
Raymond.
Scored by number 61, Rick Nash. Time of the goal.
20 seconds to go.
To Nash. Big shot. In front. Got the puck. 2-on-2.
What a ridiculous turn of events.
There's a scoring chance off a one-timer. What a move.
We're getting memed to death right now.
Brassard's offensive numbers show up among the league leaders. Without a doubt, Gary, he is
.1 on the clock.
Now, fourth overall in points, and we're talking league-wide.
Columbus to the second round.
Blue Jackets' victory will extend a very impressive series performance.
You know, once they got this series on the run by winning Game 2, things started to come.
We're already here,
3 and 4.
so why not us? An 8v1 sweep that only the Blue Jackets can pull off.
In all of sports,
Captain Rick leading the way.
Love that. You congratulate the winners, but the winners also say to the losers, we have a lot of respect.
And that's going to do it. I'm Gary Thorne on behalf
What
of Ultimate. We thank
a
you for joining us.
bizarre,
We'll catch you the next time up.
bizarre game, series, all of it. And it sees us through to the second round. I don't know what to make of it. I don't even know what to think. God help us if we actually win the cup this year. Because with the way Steve Mason is playing, with the way this team is finding ways to win, who knows what might happen. Who knows? Who knows? Every single defenseman had at least a point. Dude, if Steve Mason can keep this... If Steve Mason can keep this up, we're going to win the cup. He should have had 2 shutouts in 4 games. He scored on himself about as often as the Canucks scored on him.